Okay, this is part 2 of the last minute revision video. I'll be quickly going through all the different types of whatever is left over in the syllabus. Eductions and its types: conversion, obversion, obverted, converse, contrapositive, and inverse. Eduction refers to the process of converting or transforming propositions into other forms while retaining their logical meaning. Okay, so in conversion, we can do direct, this is known as immediate inference. That is, immediately we can infer into another proposition. In this type of eduction, subject and predicate of a propositions are swapped. SP becomes PS, but the truth remains the same for certain forms. For example, A goes to I proposition. All right, A goes to E remains in I remains in I, and O is not possible in conversion. Okay, for obversion, in obversion, basically subject and predicate remain there where they are. Predicate is replaced with its complement, that is negation. And in this, A goes to E and inverse, both E goes to A, I goes to O, and O goes to I. Means both double, it implies both ways, I and O. Alright, obverted converse, we do converse first and then we do the obverse. And in this obverted converse, there is nothing about changing, swapping, anything. Don't worry about that swap part. Just do the converse and obverse in that method. Then contrapositive. Contrapositive, we have the diagram. Contrapositive, A partial. We are talking about full, so we'll look at full first. Full, A remains in A, O remains in O, E goes to O. And SP, subject predicate, becomes predicate subject with complement of both for full contrapositive. And for partial, A goes to E goes to I, and O goes to I. And subject predicate interchanged for contrapositive, with predicate becoming complement and subject remaining as it is. For inverse, full, A, it's downward motion. So A goes to I and E goes to O. So I'm doing it very quickly here. And subject predicate, what happens is subject predicates are not interchanged. In fact, subject becomes complement and predicate remains as it is. In inverse, subject predicate both are complemented. Okay, and in inverse, A goes to cross, A goes to O, and E goes to I. This is a very quick revision. And subject partial में here in inverse full both are complemented, and in this only subject is complemented. Ignore minor mistakes, otherwise you all know what I'm talking about. So let's move forward. Okay, material obversion, we are not we'll leave it. We'll leave the material obversion, added determinants. Maybe I'll just read it in case if I'm able to understand immediately. Material obversion involves a transformation where quality, for example, all dogs are friendly. So we say no dogs are non-friendly. No dogs are non-friendly. So basically what have we done? It's an obversion only we have done. It's an obversion only. Obverse. It's the same thing. Okay, so basically they are talking about obverse only. Material obversion means obverse. Inference by added determinants. All birds fly. So all sparrows fly. So instead of bird, we have changed it to sparrows. We add a more specific term. Inference by added determinants means we add additional determining factors. For example, this involves inferring a more specific proposition by adding extra details. All birds like sparrows can fly or will fly or are flying. It typically helps refine the subject or predicate of a proposition, thus narrowing the scope of the claim. Alright. Inference by added determinant means we add additional term to it. Inference by complex conceptions. Some fruits are sweet, some apples are sweet. Instead of fruits, we say some apples are sweet. Inference by complex conception occurs when a concept is broken down or subdivided into more detailed part. Okay, so this is by added determinant means a substitute for the birds, whereas Here it's a determinant, and here it is more of a quality. So fruit as an apple. Begin with a general concept that can be broken into sub-concepts. Draw more specific conclusion by identifying a subset of the original concept. Okay, it looks almost similar to that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Inference by converse relation. Converse, so we have to do converse only. So if they ask us what are the immediate inferences, so we have material aversion, inference by converse relation, inference by added determinants. All right. Definition and its purpose. Definition. A definition is a statement that explains the meaning of a word, phrase, or concept. It clarifies the subject being described. What is its purpose? To clarify the meaning of term, providing an exact understanding of what something refers to. So definition explains the meaning of a word. When we say define a word, we are saying explain the meaning of the word, phrase, or that concept. The purpose is to make communication clearer by ensuring that everyone has the same understanding of a term. Purpose is to prevent misunderstanding and ensure that people are on the same page when discussing a topic. That's the purpose. Types of definition. We have a precise definition, stipulative definition. In stipulative definition, we'll be creating a new term, a new meaning for something. Persuasive is trying to influence beliefs. To determine how a term is to be used in specific contexts or settings. Purpose in logic. In logical terms, a definition provides a foundation for arguments and reasoning by setting boundaries for that concepts. It helps in clear reasoning and make sure logical principles are applied consistently. What are the fallacies? Fallacies and rules. Okay, so let's look at all the different type of rules. So we have a precising definition. Precising definition means ensures definitions clarify and narrow down vague terms. Precising definition. Okay, what are its fallacies? Using a term with different meanings in different parts of the argument. Using a term with different meanings in different parts of the argument. All right. Form of definition. Defining by genus and species. The definition must mention the category and the distinguishing feature. Using unclear language that leads to multiple interpretation. Rule of definition. Avoid circular definition. Do not define a term using itself or its synonyms. So this question can come, what is circular definition? Circular definition is a definition where the term itself is used or its synonyms are used to describe it. Exclusive rule, contextual rule, clarity rule. We don't have all this. Negative definition, precision and clarity. Let's look at the definition itself. So these are the rules and common fallacies. Let's look at all different kinds of definitions which are important. Okay, so these are the important definitions. Lexical definition. We have lexical definition means, and we have stipulative definition. So let's look at lexical definition. In short, is basically the dictionary meaning of the term. Okay, and stipulative definition means we are introducing a new meaning or redefining an existing term for specific purpose. An example would have been better here, but I don't have time now to create that. Maybe in another video I may create that. I've already created one video where everything is explained in detail. So I'll just move ahead. Lexical definition is a dictionary meaning of a term. Stipulative definition is a new meaning of a term. Introducing a new meaning of a term or redefining an existing term. Okay. Second is precising definition and operational definition. We have both. Clarifies a vague or ambiguous term. Precise. So clarifies a vague or ambiguous term by adding specific criteria. Whereas operational definition means defines a term by specifying the procedures or methods used to measure it. Okay, so let me just create the one with an example. It will be better to understand. I'll just do that quickly. Yeah, I've just changed the table a little bit. Okay, so we'll start with stipulative. We'll cover only 5 definitions. Stipulative definition, basically we are creating a new meaning for a term. Okay, so example would be the term cryptocurrency was defined to describe digital currencies like bitcoins and everything. So it's an arbitrary assignment of a meaning. Okay, to introduce new terms in science, technology, law, or philosophy. So new meaning is created when we use stipulative definition. Extensive definition. Extensive definition is when something is listed. Like for example, fruits, we have apples, bananas, oranges, mangoes. So that's an extensive definition where listing is done. So defines a term by listing specific examples that fall under the term. So we can say a class is defined, for example, flowers, and then all listing are done. Flowers are roses, lilies, and all different type of flowers, sunflower and everything. Or animals, lion, tigers, giraffe, or whatever, and so on. So basically it is known as extensive definition. It is enumerated, means listed. So stipulative definition is when new meanings are created. Extensive definition is when list examples are given. Okay. Ostensive definition is very nice, is when, or like, it is used for children. So when children are taught that this is a cat by pointing at a picture of a cat, so basically defines a term by pointing to or demonstrating an object or concept. So we said defining red by pointing at a red apple. So how we define red? So we'll point it at a red apple and say this is color red, or red stop sign, that we have to stop when red sign comes. Somebody can point when we are going for learning about driving, or so there they teach you that red means this type of sign. So it's called known as ostensive definition. And precising definition, it is used to narrow down vague terms. Okay, used in law, science, and policies to avoid ambiguity. For example, precising is when we clarify the term nuisance in tort law. Okay, so we are defining what is a nuisance. We are precising that definition. Nuisance could mean anything, but then when we see defined it in tort law, it is understood that actually nuisance means this. So there is a public nuisance and private nuisance, or private nuisance and public nuisance. Operational definition is when we use scientific method or research, like some numbers are there, some test is there. So all of that comes under operational definition. Okay, so that is all we are covering right now for operational these 5 definitions of. Okay, so we have already covered all of this. Okay, so now we also have precising definition in the context of law. So precising definition is when we use it to clarify vague terms or define a term more precisely. Specifically, they'll tell you for law of contract and in law of torts what is private and public nuisance and what is consent. So how it is defined precisely is shown here. So precising definition are used to clarify vague or ambiguous terms by specifying more precise criteria. These are especially useful in law to ensure clear application to legal principles. Precising definition narrows down a general or vague term by specifying clear and detailed criteria, making it more applicable to legal contexts and avoiding ambiguity. Private and public nuisance, law of torts, defining nuisance precisely by adding specific elements such as damage to property, unreasonable interference, and public-private harm. Its purpose is to clarify and make the legal concepts more precise to ensure fairness and consistency in legal decisions. Then they have explained private and public nuisance, but I'm not going into that right now. If somebody wants to read, they can do that. Or if I get enough comments, then maybe after the exams I'll make this. Consent in law of contract, medical negligence. I'm not covering this part of this. I'm not depending on them. Logical divisions, rules and fallacies. So I'm not covering the division part also here. But these are very nice chapters, very interesting to know all of this. But time is not enough right now, so I'm skipping all of this. Introduction to Wigmorean analysis. This is also very nice. The technique of how evidence is to be collected, reasoning is to be given. This is very important for all to be advocates, future lawyers. You can pause the video here and look at it. I'll just scroll through. That's it. Thank you very much for staying around. This is just a 15-minute video, short video. Take care. Bye bye. Best of luck for your exam and future exams for future students. Thank you very much. Do consider sharing this video link. It's a very quick video. It's for last minute revision video that I'm making it. If it helps somebody, I would be glad. Thank you very much. Bye bye.